Hello everyone, myself Bharat Bhushan Singhal, Assistant Professor, Google Apps, Suresh Gyan Vihari University, Jaipur. We discuss fundamental of programming language. This is the lecture 9. In previous lectures we discuss all about C programming language and control structures and structures. Many things are discussed in previous lectures. Today we start a new language, that is the C++. Students are able to understand working with introduction of C++, difference between C and C++, and features of C++. Now lecture is start. First is C programming introduction. So what is C++? C++ is a cross-platform language that can be used to create high-performance application. It is the enhance of C programming language. C++ was developed by Brazen Stoddard as an extension to the C language. C++ gives programmers a high level of control over system resource and memory. So C++ is one of the world's most popular programming language. C++ can be found in today's operating system, graphical user interface, and embedded systems. C++ is an object-oriented program. What is the object-oriented and what is the C? C is structure-oriented programming. Procedure-oriented programming, second name of structured programming language, and C++ support the object-oriented programming, but also C++ support the structure-oriented programming. If you use create a programming structured programming, they are allowed. If you create object-oriented programming, they also allow. So it is the combination of structured and object-oriented program. But first time C++ introduced the object-oriented programming, and now maximum language are used object-oriented programming. Purely C++ is the combination of structured and object-oriented program, but but other languages which are introduced after the C++, they are the pure object-oriented programming, because C++ provide more features, more powerful features to create the programs in either way. C++ is portable and can be used to develop applications that can be adapted to multiple platforms. C++ is fun and easy to learn. Now, what is the object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming, it is the enhance of structured programming language. So it is the differed from the structured programming language, or fully differed. It uses the object class. Object stands for object-oriented programming. Object means it is the instance of any entity, any class, anything else. So I discuss in procedural programming. Structured programming, second name is procedural programming, is about writing procedures or functions that perform operation on the data, while object-oriented programming is about creating objects that contain both data and functions. Object-oriented programming has many advantages over procedural programming. OOPS is faster and easier to execute. OOPS provide a clear structure for the program. OOPS help to keep the C++ code dry, don't repeat yourself, and make the code easier to maintain and modify and debug. OOPS make it possible to create full reusable application with less code and shorter development time. Now major difference between C and C++. First is introduction. C was developed by Denius Ritchie in around 1969 at AT&T Bell Labs, but it introduced 1972. C++ was developed by Virgin Stafford in 1979. Language type: C used the structure and procedural programming, but the C++ support both structured programming and object-oriented programming models. OOPS feature support: as C does not support the OOPS concept, so it has no support for polymorphism, encapsulation and inheritance. I explain in this lecture in next slides. C++ has support for polymorphism, encapsulation and inheritance as it is being a object-oriented programming language. Data security, major advantage: as C does not support encapsulation, so data behave as a free entity and can be manipulated by outside code. On another hand, in the case of C++, encapsulation hides the data to ensure that data structure and operators are used as intended. Driven types: C in general known as function drive language, and on the other hand C++ known as object oriented language. Feature support: C does not support function and operator overloading, also do not have namespace features and reference variable functionality. On the other hand, C++ support both of them. So they are the major difference between C and C++. If anyone asks for what is the difference between C and C++. Now we move on. Features of OOPS. They are the most important topic of OOPS. When we discuss the object oriented programming, then that is the most important topics to remember. You remember all features of OOPS because it is the important question in object oriented programming introduction. After that we learn these features deeply in next topics. First we discuss only the introduction of these features. So they are polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, object, class, abstraction, data abstraction, and also are some are which are not so here, and they are hide features. I explain also message passing, dynamic binding, and the data hiding. They are also the features of object oriented programming. Now first features I call features. Class. What is the class? You know, when we say that we are humans, how it is said? Because humans have some specific features like that. Humans are so as a two eyes, nose, and the structure of humans are so like this. They have also features 2 hands and two legs. So they have we describe all features in human. So human is a concept which are applied by us. So we are the part of human concept. Like that word, we say word. So parrot is a word, and many words are there. So like we say pen, then many pens are present there. They have some special features. Like we say bottles, then after that we come some cello bottles and many types of bottles. Then we come with laptops. Then what is laptop is a concept, and Dell laptop is provide the laptop features. So they are the a concept, and Dell and Acer and all companies HP are used that concept and develop the laptops. So the laptops are the object of that laptop class. So what is the class? Class is a concept, only a concept. It has some rules, some functions, some data types. But when we create a object are the apply that concept on any entity. Like that, you have a registration form. You open a registration form. Then registration form is same for all candidates. They are filled. But when you click a new registration form, then a object is created for you, and they call the concept of class registration form. After that, that object is filled all information, and a copy of that class is saved for that special user. So that user is the object, and registration form is the class, because it is the same for all candidates. After that, any particular candidate it fill the details in that form. So a copy of that class is created for that object and save in database. So that is the class. Class is the combination of data member and member function. Data member variables. In C we call the variables. Here in C++ in object oriented programming we call the data members. Data members means member word. What is the member word? Class is the store the function, variables and all things. So class is like a family. Class is like a family which perform a specific operation. So if we create any variable in that class, so that variable is called the member of that class family. So it is called data member. When we create any function for that class, then it is also the member of that class. So it is called function member. So when we define a definition of class, that is the collection of data member and member function which perform a specific operations. So from the PPT, the building block of C++ that leads to object oriented programming is a class. It is a user defined data type which holds its own data members and member functions, which can be accessed and used by creating an instance of that class. Object is called instance of the class. We create thousands, lakhs, crores and arabs object for one class. Copies are repeated, and then the information of all candidates are stored into the database. Sorry. A class is like a blueprint of an object. A class blueprint means only concept. A class is a user defined data type which has data members and member functions. Data members are the data variables and member functions are the functions used to manipulate these variables, and together these data members and member functions define the properties and behavior of the object in the class. In the above example of class car, the data member will be speed, mileage and etc. and member functions are apple, brake, increase speed, etc. So what is the object? I explained in previous PPT that what is the object? Object is the instance of class which use the property of class directly. It is also called the real-time entity. Like that, when we create a registration form, then on any website, any application, then a registration form is open for you. So when that time a object is created, then when you click new registration form, so all information are stored for that particular object. So that particular object belongs to that user which click the new registration. So that user also the object for that class. So it is called also the real-time entity. Okay, but in programming it is called instance of class. An object is a identifiable entity with some characteristics and behavior. An object is an instance of the class. When a class is defined, no memory is allocated, but when it is initiated, an object is created, memory is allocated. Means when we create the class, any type of memory is not created into the RAM or physical memory, like secondary memory. But when you create an object, a class which wants the memory, it allocated for only for a specific object. Means class is concept, then a object is called the class, then class have the data members, then that time that data members is created in memory and for that particular object. So when we create any object, that time memory is allocated for that particular object. It is performed by the constructor. We explain in next lectures what is the constructor. So it is performed by the constructor. So this is the A example. What is the syntax? First we write the class. Also we explain the header file. In C++ header file we use the IOStream. IOSTREAM. IOStream means input output library. Like Studio, we use Studio in C language, standard input output library, but here we use the IOStream. They have the all features, basic features of C++, object oriented programming. C++, they support the structured programming also, and they support also the object oriented programming. So it is the basic default header file for the C++ is the iostream.h. Now when you create the object oriented programming, then how to create the class? Then first you write the class. After that you give the name of an identifier, means class name. After that you create the data members and member functions for that. Here public is the access specifier. I explain in next lectures what is the access specifier. So it is used into the programming language. Now we create the class, but in C++ when we ended the class we use the semicolon for closing the class. But in other language like Java programming we didn't use the semicolon to end the class. But in the C++ we use the semicolon to end the class. Now how to create the object? So first write the class name, and after that you write an identifier which is convert into the object of that particular class. Here person is the class and name and ID is the data members of that class, and get details is the function member function of that class. After that in main when we create P1, that is the object of person class, it has the all authority to access the name, ID and get details function members. So this is the simple example of class. Now we move on to the next features is encapsulation. What is the meaning of encapsulation? Encapsulation have a word capsule. Capsules means unity. Capsule means unity. So all things in one unit. Like a college campus are present, then it have the many buildings. After that it surrounded by a wall, and only it have the one gate which have the secured by the guards. So if any one student is enter into the class, into the campus, then it have the permission for that enter that university and that campus, and it is secured by the guards. So all buildings are encapsulated in a campus. Like that in a class all data members and all member functions which are held by the class are defined are secure by the class boundary. So if anyone want to access that data members and member functions, then they have the permission to access them. So that features of class is called the encapsulation. So in normal terms, encapsulation is defined as wrapping up of data and information under a single unit in object oriented program. Encapsulation is defined as binding together the data and the function that manipulate them. Next is data abstraction. What is the data abstraction? Like you are a driver, then driving a car. You push the brake, then automatically your car is stopped. What is the perform inside? You know? No. Means you only know about the input and output, but the background details of that brake are not necessary for you. So like that, when we create a program into the object oriented programming, then user only know the input, we enter the input and the output will come automatically. So automatically the background details of that program is hid by the users. It is beneficial for both programmer and for the user. User only know the input and output, and the coding of the logic of programmer is also hide. So it is called the data abstraction. Data abstraction is one of the most essential and important features of object oriented programming in C++. Abstraction means displaying only essential information and hiding the details. Data abstraction refer to providing only essential information about the data to the outside world, hiding the background details or implementation. Next is polymorphism. That is the Latin word poly and morphism. Poly plus morphism. Poly means many and morphism means forms. When we show one thing in many forms, then that feature is called polymorphism. So the function overloading and operator overloading, it is the example of polymorphism in C++. What is the function overloading? Function overloading means when we same name of a function is used in different functions, like we create 5 functions with the same name, then this feature is called function overloading. And second is operator overloading, like a plus symbol, addition symbol, it performs the addition between two values, 2 plus 2. But in operator overloading, we add them with 3 values at a time. We add the objects using the plus symbols. So the load of that plus symbol is increased automatically. So that is called operator overload. So by the PPT, the word polymorphism means having many forms. In simple word, we can define polymorphism as the ability of the message to the displayed in more than one form. C++ support operator overloading and function overloading. What is the overloading? The process of making an operator to exhibit different behaviors in different instances is known as operator overloading. Function overloading. Function overloading means is using a single function name to perform different type of operation. Polymorphism is extensively used in implementing inheritance. Next, what is then? It is the most popular and most powerful feature of C++. Using this, we use the code directly without rewritten. Like that, you create a attractive form and any code that is perform a specific operation. Now I want to create another program which use that code. I want to use that code which you created, but I don't want to rewritten that code. So I take the code and class from you and use inheritance and call that code directly in my program without rewritten that code. So automatically my program is more powerful because it has the features of your program and it also the features of my program, and program load is automatically down. Why? Because I don't rewrite any code again and again. So which class is send the code that called derived so base class, and which class is that use that code, that is called subclass of that base class. So the capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from another class is called inheritance. Inheritance is the one of the most important features of object-oriented programming. Subclass, the class that inherit properties from another class, is called subclass or derived class. Superclass, the class whose properties are inherited by subclass, is called base class or superclass. Reusability. Inheritance support the concept of reusability, that is when we want to create a new class and there is already a class that includes some of the code that we want, we can derive our new class from the extend class. By doing this, we are reusing the fields and method of the extend class. Like that, we have the animal class which have the all features of animals. After that, when we all features are automatically are derived into the dog class, after that we describe the dog features. After that, when we want to create the cat class, then automatically we inherit the animal code into the cat class, and after that we describe the cat class. Now that we want to create the cow class, then automatically animal features which have the animals features, they are inherited into the direct into the class, and after that we describe the cow features. Dynamic binding. What is the dynamic binding? Dynamic, I explain in what is the static and dynamic. When we perform any operation at the runtime, that is called dynamic. So binding means we attach the code with the main file. Binding means like that we create a code and attach that code to the main source file. So that is called binding. Dynamic binding means we attach the code at runtime, means we perform the programming at runtime. We change the code at runtime, so it is performed into the C++ using virtual function. I explain in later what is the virtual. By using the virtual function, we perform the dynamic binding in C++. Means we add the code at runtime. It is not possible normally, because when a code is running in execution time, then all operation, compilation, conversion of that code is performed. But using the C++, using the virtual function, we perform this. We add the code at runtime, at execution time, or at in that source file. Message passing. A message passing, what is the message passing? Like that you create a class and create the thousands of objects. Now one object needs the information of second object. So there is no communication here. So only if object is send the message to another, to for the request, to for the order, for another object. So using the message, many objects of a class are communicated. So that features is called the message passing of C++. So object communicated with one another by sending and receiving information to each other. A message from for an object is a request for execution of a procedure, and therefore will invoke a function in the receiving object that generates the desired results. Message passing involves specifying the name of the object, the name of the function, or the information to be sent. So they are the features of a object oriented programming. Now I take an example how to create the class and a C++ program into Deep C++. So for that I create a project, source file. Now save it and give the name demo sorry demo dot. Now the extension of that class now in not is C, it is CPP, and by default Dev C++ is create the C++ source files. It is support also .c classes and .cpp classes. So I create this. Now the structure of program is include iStream .h, but in Dev C++ and C++ I didn't use the .h, but you create the C program. Here we use studio.h, but you create another IDE on C++ program, it is the compulsory to use iStream.h. After that, here is a compulsory name is namespace std. It is a namespace. I discuss it in later lectures. So what is the namespace and why you use in namespace std in only in Dev C++. But when we use the Turbo C++, .h is also mentioned and namespace std is not mentioned. But the Dev C++ is working as a virtually, so it need the standard namespace files to execute a C++ program. Now the main function and the braces, and now here like that we written printf in C like this, but here it is convert into cout. Printf is convert into cout and like this. Now you write any statement like hello world, and after that semicolon. So printf is convert into cout in C++. Now I execute this program. It is a simple program. So it is say their name is sorry same program. The problem is that for the error I didn't use the using before the namespace. So when we using the namespace, the using keyword is used. So now I compile this. I use the standard namespace. Now I execute this. So the output is hello world. Now you want to read any variable, then you create int a and you read like this cin, and this is the scanner, and directly write a. Here %d, %s, %lf, anything is not used. Directly you write the variable and that variable is read. So you will write here enter a number. Now you want to /n, then there are two options of /n. First is this /n and second is ended. you type endl means end of line. So automatically this is, so here line is ended and cursor is move on to the next line. So now I compile this. So enter a number, after that you enter 45 and press the enter. It is stored. Now you want to print this variable, so using the cout you directly rewrite the variable, like we write a, but you want to print in next line. So here I create this and here I give /n. So first /n is performed, after that direct variable value is printed. So semicolon remaining. Now I execute this. Now first I enter 45, then 45 value is inside and print. It is checked. Now next you want to perform addition. It is the same as in C++, B and sum. So read the A and B directly with both. So now here you write and print the addition of that number. So sum is equal to A plus B and print the. Now you print a line. Which line? A means value of A and value of B. Sum are addition of, addition of A and B are, and that's it. So now I convert this into the cout. How it is convert? First write the cout and this symbol. All strings are closed by the double quotes. So remove this, and addition of it is string. Now A is a variable, so write this, and after that you also write this. After that end is the string, so you enclose by the double quotes. Okay, now B is variable, now you write this. So variable always blank without double quotes, and all string is enclosed by the double quotes. Here. Now you want to end the print the value of sum, so you print here. Now you want to end the line, and so that's it. Now I run this program. What is the error? Okay, I didn't place the semicolon. So enter, first is 45, second is 56. Now addition of 45 and 56 are 101. So that is a normal program, that is the structured language programming paradigm which is used into the C++. Now we explain the details of program and convert the C program into C++ program in next lecture. Thank you very much. So we discuss the MCQ of this lecture. First MCQ are, which of the following is the correct syntax to print the message in C++ language? First, second and third, and none of the above. So answer is A, cout, shift operator, and after that string in double quotes and semicolon. This is the right syntax to print any string in C++. Next is the, which of the following is the address operator? Address operator means which hold the memory location and which is used to show the memory location in programming language. So has ampersand and percentage. So we discussed in previous lecture also, for the print the address we use the ampersand, that is called address of operator, which show the memory location of any variable. Next is, which of the following features must be supported by any programming language to become a pure object oriented programming language? Means, if we say C++ is pure object oriented programming, then that is have the encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism and all of the above. And second thing, to check the purity of any object oriented programming language, then it is the compulsory to create a class in that program. If you don't create a class in that program, that means that program is not pure object oriented program. So but in C++ it is not compulsory to create a class. If you create a program, that is allowed in structure oriented programming language. So here the answer is, that is have the encapsulation features, that is have the inheritance, that is have the polymorphism, and all three features are present in that programs, then that is called the object oriented programming, pure object oriented programming. So answer is D. Next is, which of the following is the original creator of the C++ language? Means, who developed the C++? First is Dennis Ritchie, Ken Thompson, Rajan Stortrup, Brian Kennington. So I discussed in previous PPT, the answer is C. Next is, the C++ language is blank object oriented language, pure object oriented, not object oriented, semi object oriented or partial object oriented, and none of the above. So answer is, it is support the structured programming language and also support the object oriented programming language. So this C++ is called semi oriented or partial object oriented programming. So answer is, C++ is a blank type of language, high level language, low level language, middle level language, and none of the above. So it is called the programming language are divided into two. First is low level language, which is the machining language and assembly language, and other language is called the high level language, which is used the machine language and assembly language to run the program on hardware. So C++ is also called the high level language. Thank you very much to listening me. This lecture is over. Have a nice day.